Hi there. So in this video, we're going to cover how to go about creating an abandoned cart sequence when somebody starts to make their payment for a product or a service that you're providing, but doesn't quite finish making the sale. So in order to do that, we are going to use a product that I've already created, but we'll walk through the process of just getting our sales page started because I can't remember which one I've used in the past. So real quickly, I'm going to go to payments. I'm going to click on products and I'm just going to choose a product. And in this case, I'm going to use my super awesome bear painting NFT. I'm going to copy it so that I don't have to go back and remember that later. And then I'm going to go to sites and I'm going to say create a new funnel. Super sales page. And then I'm going to click create. Now for my specific use case here, I'm going to need to have at least two steps. One of them is for my the actual product that I'm selling, and the other is for my thank you page. So I'm going to open up my funnel and I'm going to click on add a step. Air painting purchase. Bears. So we always share this name of the page is internal facing, meaning I can only see it as the person who created it. The path is that slug. It's everything that happens after the like .com, .us, et cetera, and it is public facing. So always be conscientious about that. I'm going to create my funnel step. I'm going to go to add a new step. Bear painting. Thank you. Now you can use capital letters and proper grammar and all that stuff if you would like. Bear-ty for bear. Thank you. And then I'm going to pop over to my settings and I'm going to select a domain for my funnel. I'm just going to choose this one right here for the sake of simplicity. Remember, so we need to have a domain assigned to every single funnel in order for the funnel to be public facing and work properly and not have you actually marketing for my business, although I always appreciate that. So prior to being able to sell my product, I need to attach it to my funnel. So I'm going to come over here to my tab and I'm going to click product. I'm going to click add a product and I'm going to look for the product that I'm going to sell on this particular funnel page. And I'm going to find the price. Now we have a drop down here because some instances, maybe you only have one product price option, but maybe you have two. Maybe there's a 4-month plan. Maybe there's also a pay in full. Whatever that is, you have the option to choose which one that's going to be. And then you can do additional settings. And now that I've got all that taken care of, I'm going to say I'm going to create my page from a blank. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of styling here. I'm just going to one piece at a time. I'm going to put my logo and I'm going to put a checkout form and we're going to talk about that checkout form. So I'm just going to stick my logo here. Here's my logo. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to add my order form. Now my order form is going to be, we've got one of two choices, a one-step order form and a two-step order form. And I've kind of hinted at this in previous other training videos, but in the instance that you want to create an abandoned cart sequence or a follow-up, if somebody starts to fill out their information but doesn't complete the sale, you have to use a two-step order form. You cannot do a abandoned cart follow-up on a one-step order form, and I will show you why here in just a second. A two-step order form separates the purchase information between contact details and payment details. So what typically happens is when we start filling out the information, name, email, phone number, address, yada, 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 and then we go and click that go to the next step as consumers, and we're like, oh, shoot, my wallet is in the other room. I'm too lazy. I'm going to go back and do it later. And this is how abandoned cart works. So believe it or not, that first step is just a form. It's a form. It's the second step in this instance that the magic happens because that's where the payment detail is collected. So when we use a two-step order form and somebody clicks this button, it is technically considered a successful form submission. But when they put in their payment details and click the confirm button, that is what's considered a successful purchase. So I'm going to save my funnel step here. I'm not going to do anything else. I am going to pop over to preview it so that way you guys can see what it looks like. And you're going to find that you can't really do a whole lot in terms of like, here's what I mean. So if I go and I put my name in here, test at gmail.com. I put my phone number. I'm going to say 123 at Test Lane, Test City, and my country, the United States. And now I'm going to click go to this step 2. When I push this button, I am creating a record inside my system that has all this information. And the reason I'm showing this to you is because I want you to see that you cannot see the product price when you're building the page. But if you want to know whether or not your product has been added correctly, you do have to go through this step in your testing process. So here we can see that my super awesome bear painting, $250 a month, is in here. Everything looks correct. And if I go back to my contacts, if we give it a couple of minutes, it will show a contact in the system here because that contact has essentially been created. So that is the first part of our journey here in terms of getting our two-step order form set up. The next part, though, is actually using the automation to make it so that when somebody starts the process but abandons before payment, that we have a way of following up. So I'm going to click on automation, and I'm going to say, in this case, create a new workflow, and I'm going to start from scratch. Now, we've talked about in the past when we were trying to use a purchase as a goal, that we're using the funnel steps to show a successful purchase. So I'm going to click on add a new trigger, and I'm going to type the word order in. So we've also talked in the past videos about the difference between order form submission and order submitted. In order to have an abandoned cart follow-up, it's not actually connected to the product, it's connected to the actual form itself. So we're going to click order form submission. And then we're going to click on filters, and we're going to go find the funnel that we created, super awesome bear painting NFT sales page. And we're going to say submission type is an opt-in. And what that means is that they've opted in, but they haven't made the payment. So if we leave it just like that, and then we have an immediate thing happen right away, it's going to fire every time somebody completes the first step, regardless as to whether or not they pay or they don't pay, which means you're going to get an abandoned cart follow-up even for the people who actually make the payment. So I'm going to click Save a Trigger. I'm going to label this opt-in bear painting. There we go. And now I'm going to put a wait timer here. And the reason for that is because I want my abandoned cart to, one, feel natural and not be too much harassy to the person on the other side. But I also want it to be, give them enough time to get up, go get their credit card, or enter their credit card in 14 different times before they finally get the card number right and remember the zip code and the CVV code. So I'm going to put a 20-minute wait timer here. And what I do is, the other thing that you have to consider is that there's going to be a separate workflow that fires when the purchase is successful. I say that a good rule of thumb is that if they've made a purchase of something, I want to be able to run a report based on that purchase history. And typically the easiest way to do that is I want to create a tag and apply that tag every time somebody makes a purchase. So in that scenario, I have a separate workflow that is going to fire when the purchase is successful. When the purchase is made, a tag is applied to that contact that says they bought my thingy. In this case, they bought my bear painting. So in this case, where we're waiting for 20 minutes, and now we're going to wait to see, did that tag get applied? So we don't necessarily care about tracking down a funnel or a different kind of trigger in another automation. What we care about, did they make that purchase and get that tag applied? So I'm going to use an if statement, trusting that that other workflow has the tag being applied. Did they purchase bear painting? So in my make-believe scenario, my other automation, they make the purchase. I apply a tag that says purchased bear painting. And I'm going to say my contact details is I'm looking for a tag. Includes purchased bear painting NFT. In this case, because make believe automation doesn't exist, neither does the tag. So we're pretending, remember, that there's a workflow that fires when they make a purchase, and when that purchase is made, a tag is applied. So what we're saying here is, did they purchase the bear painting? And this actually goes up here. And in this case, yes. Yes, they made a purchase, and therefore the tag is applied. So if the tag is applied, the sequence ends. They go to the finish line and nothing occurs. If the tag is not applied after 20 minutes, then maybe I want to send an email to the person, abandoned cart. Here's your coupon. And in this email, I want you to finish your sale. Don't do it this way. I'm just kind of making it really clear what the purpose of this is. I want you to finish your sale. Let me make it easy for you. Here's your coupon to get 20% off. There's our pool. And then they can use that coupon code. Okay, so I've got my email. So now I've got an email, recover sale. I've got my email that's going to the user. Maybe I send myself an internal notification that says, let's see, user first name. You have a contact that started to purchase your bear painting, but abandoned the cart. Follow up with, and then I'm going to stick their name. And I'm going to say, I'm going to send it to everybody, but you can specify who you want to send it to and add a specific contact if you want as well. Okay, so now what I've done is they abandoned the cart. I'm going to give them 20 minutes just to make sure that they didn't come back and do it. And then I'm going to ask the question, did they purchase the bear painting? If they purchased the bear painting and they have that tag, they're going to go here and nothing happens. If they didn't purchase the bear painting, meaning they don't have the tag, they're going to go here. I'm sending them an email and I'm sending myself a notification to follow up. So you can do other things here. You can send a text message. You can, send, launch a whole big grand campaign. It's totally up to you. And much of that really depends on, what sort of flexible options do you have in order to try to incentivize them to finish? And also maybe what's the value of the product? You don't necessarily want to give a 20% discount on something that you're not generating enough revenue to make that worth its while. So things like that are something that you actually want to consider. And then when you're finished, put it in publish and save your work. So this is how you create an abandoned cart sequence for a specific product associated with a specific file. Thanks so much.